Hey, how's it going, everybody? Just want to say it's good to be back home, and I look forward to the opportunity to work with this wonderful program they call Indiana basketball, and it should be a lot of fun. And hold Coach Wooden in high regard, and that's one of the reasons I'm back because he's a highly respected, really love the guy, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it, and if anybody has any questions, I'm ready.
All right, we'll start with Alex and then go to Pete.
Hey,
Calbert, thanks
Alex,
for the time. Alex Bozich with Inside the Hall.
how you
Just
doing, Alex?
curious, I'm doing great. Just curious how this opportunity kind of came about and what the process was. Maybe obviously you had a really good job with the Pacers and how you maybe decided that this is what you wanted to do next.
Yeah, it's good. I had a good conversation with Woody last summer. We just talked a little bit, and over the summer last year, and had some good conversations, and then kind of after a while, kind of like when the season started for us and for them, there was really no talks at all, and then once the season was over with, our season was over with about a week later, a week or so later, Woody gave me a call and we started talking a little bit more, and he talked about the opportunity of coming back here, and I guess the new rule is where you can work with players on the court now, for the player development role, and I thought it'd be an interesting deal, and I had a really good conversation with Woody, and like I said, I've always held him in high regard. Known the man for a long time, and he's a hell of a coach, and I figured I could come back and not only help him but also learn from him, and so I'm really looking forward to the opportunity.
All right, Pete and Tyler.
Hey, Calbert, how are you, sir?
Hey, what's up, Pete? How you doing?
I am doing well. I see we share the
Good.
same hairstyle, which is good.
Yeah, finally, right? Finally caught up with you.
Yeah, I know you did. I know you did. Hey, I just want to know, in your specific role, what exactly are you going to be focusing on? What keys do you want to help these players with?
Just player development, develop them on and off the court. On the court, try to help them get better as basketball players. Off the court, try to help them understand and how to become really good young men and function in society. And that's what it's all about for me. I've always been the type of person I always want to pay it forward. A lot of people have helped me along the way in this great game. It's been good to me, and I want to do the same thing.
Thanks, Calbert.
Mhm.
All right, Tyler, then Jack.
Hey, Calbert, Tyler Tachman with the Indianapolis Star. Just curious, just some of your favorite memories of being a player at IU and what, how would you put into words what this program means to you?
Also, it's meant an awful lot to me, and will always mean a lot. Just like all the other former players that have come through here, and all the fans that have lived and died by this program, and they still do. And that's what it's all about to me. This program has always had a great tradition, and I've always enjoyed watching this program grow. And obviously, with programs, you have your good moments and your bad moments, but that's the nature of it. And I love this program. I have always loved it, and I'm just happy to have that opportunity to come back and contribute once again.
Jack, then Jim.
Hey, Calbert. Jack Ankeny with SI Indiana. I was curious about your time kind of with Indiana and working with that 2013 team that won the Big Ten, and kind of how you maybe reflect on that season and how you helped build that team up. If there's any correlation that you think you learned from that can help you kind of with these teams moving forward.
Well, it's all about just like I said, playing collectively. With that 2013 team, there's some great guys on that team. Cody Zeller, Victor Oladipo, Will Sheehy, Christian Watford. I mean, and Jordan Hulls, those guys, and then Yogi came in, and they just they clicked and played together. And that's all I try to do. I just want these guys to understand the team concept. This is the team game, and with these guys here, I got a chance to see them practice yesterday, and they have some of the same abilities that 2013 team had. But it obviously, you got to have the chemistry and you got to have the work ethic. And I always tell guys, hey, your head and your heart determine how successful you're going to be, not only on the basketball court, but in life. And that's all I'm going to try to tell them. Just try to go out there, play your hearts out, do everything hard, and play together. And if you do those things, you're going to be successful no matter what.
Jim, then Kyler.
Hey, Calbert, Jim Coyle, Indiana Sports Beat Radio. Thanks a lot for doing this, by the way, and nice to talk to you again.
How you doing?
Pretty good, man. You're in
Good.
a great, unique situation. A former Indiana player, all-time leading Big Ten scorer, worked with the hometown NBA team, the Pacers. You've worked under now multiple Indiana coaches, and you just seem to have a toolbox that is full in every direction, especially for your role. What was it about this offer? Was it the timing? What was it that really said this is the time to make this move?
Woody, at that time I really hadn't considered coming back to college, and but Woody was a determining factor for me. I have so much respect for the man and what he's done. He's been able to do, and I've known him for a long, forever. I've known him for a long time, even since I was a player here. And so he and his staff, that he's put together is really what brought me here, and the fact that I'm able to be a part of that, and is very means a lot to me, and I appreciate Woody for wanting to include me in his dream, so to speak.
All right,
Thanks,
Kyler, then Mason.
Hey, Calbert, Kyler Staley from HoosierIllustrated.com. I'm just curious, what your thoughts are and how important it is for former players like yourself to be involved with the Indiana program.
I think it's very important, obviously, especially when you're coming from a winning tradition like Indiana has always had. You look at all the blue bloods like Kentucky and Duke and North Carolina, who always brought their guys back. I think it's always good for former players to come back and want to contribute to the program that helped them get to where they are right now. So, and that's all I try to do. It's not about money for me, never has been, never about anything for me. It's all about trying to pay it forward and do what's best for the program that's been good to me over these years, and that's why I do it. And I think it's very, very important.
Mason, then Seth.
Hey, Calbert, Mason Williams with the Hoosier.com. I'm curious, with you now and Jordan Holes on this staff as well, and guys like Woodson, you mentioned him bringing you on as kind of like part of his dream. What is like the camaraderie like of the staff, knowing that there's a lot of pro basketball experience, there's a lot of IU experience. What is that camaraderie around the staff like?
Well, I think between me, Jordan, and Woody, I think both know that I'm the better player. But no, but I think it's the camaraderie is great. You think about kind of different generations. You got Woody, then myself, and you got Jordan Holes, who all know about the pulse of Indiana basketball. We're from the same state. Jordan from Bloomington, Woody from Indiana, me from being from Evansville. But we all know about the from the state perspective. Growing up in this state, knowing about Indiana basketball, it's obvious the camaraderie and the chemistry is like automatically there for whatever reason, So, like I said, I've been always I had the opportunity and privilege to work with Jordan, back in 2012 and 2013, and I relish the opportunity to work with him again. So I think it's great.
Seth and Alec.
Hey, Calbert, Seth Tao with the Daily Hoosier. You've talked a lot about, Coach Woodson and how high of a regard you hold him in. I'm wondering, do you remember the first time you met Coach Woodson? What was he like then, and how has your relationship really grown over the years? I
met him over, when I was a player here, and I was going through a tough time as a player. I think, I think I played a lot of basketball during that summer. I think I might have played the World University games or something like that. And I played a lot of basketball, and my body just wasn't doing right. Once the season rolled around, I was struggling a little bit in the beginning, my junior year, and he sat me down and talked to me, and we had a great conversation. He and Scott May, and our relationship kind of bloomed from there. And him playing in the pro or coaching in the pros, I always had went out of my way, had an opportunity every time I saw him. We had a great conversation. So our relationship has always been great. And like I said, he understands the game. He understands what it takes. He understands how how to help players grow into the best players they can possibly be. And like I said, it's great to be a part of all that.
Alec and then Alex.
Hi, Calbert. Alec Butsy, also with thehoosier.com.
Hey,
Thanks
Alec.
for doing this. Wanted to ask you about how much the game has kind of changed. The college game has changed in your last stint. It was obviously very different. There was no NIL, no transfer portal. Can you explain how those things maybe affect your role now as the director of player development?
I mean, it's not that. It's not. I don't think it's to me, basketball is basketball. Obviously, the NIL is it's pretty important now, and with the transfer portal the way it is, I think when I was maybe 2012, 2013, I think the transfer portal is maybe around 500 or 600. Now it's well over 1,000 every summer. But it is what it is. You got to be able to adapt to it, and with the NIL situation, you got to be able to adapt to that as well. So I think Coach Woodson and his staff have done a wonderful job of adapting to that over the last couple of years and getting some really good players in here. And obviously the NIL situation, that's something in itself. And I think the athletic department has done a wonderful job in working with that, raising the money, getting giving these student athletes opportunities to make a little bit of money while they're playing the sport that they love. And so I think it's a little bit different, but at the end of the day, it's still basketball. You get them in here, and you want to try and win. That's the obvious thing you want to try and do, and I think we can win. I got a chance to watch some of these guys play yesterday, and this team has a lot of potential, and they can be even better than this last year's team. So, but it's up to them on how good they want to be, and I look forward to helping them try to achieve that goal.
Alex and Tyler.
Calbert, you've obviously been a part of the program in a coaching role since you left as a player, but back in Coach Knight's day, there was never a question that Indiana was going to make the tournament every year. How impressed, I guess, were you that Mike has been able to come in these first 2 years and make the tournament back-to-back years? And how important do you think it is just for the overall health of the program for Indiana to get back to that standard where it's not really a question that they're going to make the tournament every year?
It's I think it's very important. I mean, obviously Woody's first 2 years, he came in and automatically get to the tournament, and which is a wonderful success. And obviously you want to try and do that every year, but you're only as good as your players. So you got to be able to recruit, and you got to go out and you got to do the best you possibly can to get the best talent in you can, and at the same time you got to get that talent to play together. And I think, like I said, Coach Woody and his staff have done a wonderful job, especially this summer, through the transfer portal and then the recruitment of getting guys in here so we can have the opportunity to play, in NCAA tournament, have a chance to win. Because now with the NCAA basketball landscape, with so many people transferring, you have you never know who's going to be, who's going to get to the Final Four. You saw that with Dusty's team. Was that Florida Atlantic, right? Florida Atlantic, and then you had some other, that made a run to the Final Four. So you got all kinds of teams out there that have an opportunity to get to an NCAA tournament, knock off big teams, and get to a Final Four. But that's the nature of basketball. Back when I played, you already knew who was going to be going far in the tournament. We had, I think my senior year, I think there was, in the beginning of the year, there was 7. I think all the reporters had 7 teams going that were going to probably get to the Final Four, and they were right, because we all knew who was going to get there or have a chance to get there and have a chance to win a national championship. So, but it's a little bit different now. You got winning's it tends to be a little bit tougher, but at the end of the day, it's still basketball. And if you go out and coach a team the best way you possibly can, and get them to understand that, hey, it's you out there on the floor trying to get wins. And we're just trying to help you get there. And but it's up to our guys to make that decision that they want to get to that tournament and and make some hay when they get in that tournament, and go far and try to win a national championship, and at the same time, obviously, during the season, try to win a conference title. So it's all about, it's up to these guys and how good they want to be, and that's what we try to do. We try to push them the best way we possibly can. That's what we're going to try and do, and see where it takes us.
Tyler, and then we'll wrap up with Jim.
Calbert, when you talk about like wanting to pay it forward now as a coach, who are some people, I guess, whether it be growing up or as kind of you were coming up in the basketball ranks, that really helped mold who you are as a player and as a person?
Obviously, my high school coach, my AU coaches, Brad, Coach Van Deer, my high school coach, Coach Knight, helping me, Ron Felling, Dan Dockage, all those guys, Norm Ellenberger. And then when you get to, they've all helped me to achieve my goal. And, when I was coming up through college, I had no idea that I was going to be playing in the NBA or have an opportunity to play for a long period of time, over a decade, and have some success in doing it. So like I said, for me, it's all about, people pushing you to get to your goal. Obviously, no one can do it alone. It's a team sport. It don't matter if it's a team sport, or you're playing golf, or you're playing tennis, or anything of that nature. It's all about people. There's always going to be people along the way to help you get there, and that's what I always try to do. I just want to try and help them achieve, and me looking for nothing in return. I just want to, just like I said, do what God put me on this earth to do, and that's to help people. And I think that's what God puts us on this earth all to do, is just to help people to try to achieve their goals, because you've already, got there, deserved it, and earned it. Now it's about time for you to, to try to do what you can to help the next person achieve their success. That's what it's all about for me.
All right, Jim, last one.
Calbert, in your role as player development, it's also changed, because back when you were playing, everybody was usually a 3 or 4 year player for the most part, and getting to the league. Everybody, that was their goal. But now that's changed a lot. There's so many guys. The top 20 picks this year are going to be freshmen or the equivalent. In your role, you're still going to have guys that are 3 or 4 years that you have to work with, but you also have the guys that are probably expected to be a 1 year guy. And that's important to the program. Having the Jalen Chapinos this year is important. Talk about the importance and the challenge of having that dual role now.
Yeah, it can be tough a little bit, but at the same time, you got to be able to relish the opportunity. Obviously, with Jalen Hood-Schifino, what he's done in just a year's time, and becoming a first round draft pick, that's huge. And then you got another player like Trace Jackson Davis, who stayed 4 years and did some great things, and he got drafted, and he's with the Golden State Warriors. So it's a little bit a give and take, but at the same time, you're still doing the same thing. You're still trying to help these guys get better, even if it's for 1 year, or even if it's for 4 years. You want them to improve. You basically want them when they, you want them better than when they came in here, and that's all we try to do. And what Woody did with Jalen, and what they did with Trace, getting them to the point, and racing those guys, they were better. I believe that they were better before, when they came. I believe that they were better now than what they were when they came in. So that's what it's all about.
All right. Thank you, Calbert.
Thanks, Calbert.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.